Let's come on to the last part of section B. To what extent is age the most important factor in the person's social identity? So I'm not going to write the format because we already have explained 15 marks question format in the section A. I will add the link on the top of your screen that you can check and you can click to see that what is actual format is all about. But still, I am going to just going to explain the things. Remember, whenever you see this kind of a question, that what extent in the sociology, either you are in O level or in the A level, you will see the same kind of a question in the A level as well. So remember that you have to give two different perspectives. One perspective, you have to support the question, and in the next perspective, you have to oppose the arguments, and then you will conclude that why the first and second are important into the important factors in person's social identity. For example, if you see this question, first we will start our argument that will support that yes, age is the most important factors, while in the next argument, when we will oppose this statement, what we will talk about that there are many other factors other than age that have influence on the person's social identity, and then in the last we will conclude that yes, age is important, age is a crucial factor, but there are some other factors that equally important to influence the person's social identity, and this is how we will conclude our question. So let's begin from our supporting argument. So we will start from that age define access to the rights. Age defined access to the rights, access to rights and responsibilities, rights and responsibilities such as voting or driving, such as voting and driving. It also influences the societal perception. It also influence societal perception. Now you see each and every line will support that factor, age, that age is an important factor in person's social identity. Okay, so each and every statement should be supportive to the statement that you have been asked in the questions. So it influences societal perception. For example, the elderly are stereotypes. Are stereotyped as a dependent, while youth are associated with rebellion and experimentation, Now if you see, we are talking about that age makes person social identity. For example, when we thinks about the elder people, so we always thought that they will be dependent on their family, and when we talk about the youth, we always take that they will be in the experimentation process, they will be rebellion, all XYZ things that we are now things we are going to explain, and we are explaining the phenomena based on the age. So one more argument that we can write from the functionalist perspective, functionalists argue that functionalists argue that age stages like adolescence, adolescence involved significant transition shaping identity. Additionally, industries like media cater distinctively distinctively to age group reinforce unique identities. So that was related to the supporting argument. Now come on to few opposing argument. So we will talk about from the feminist perspective, from the Marxist perspective. Feminist perspective will talk about the gender perspective. The Marxist perspective will talk about the social class perspective. So that will become our opposing argument. So we will begin with, here we will talk about, however, feminists argue that gender is a more significant gender is the most significant factor influencing on identity, shaping life chances, and status from birth. Similarly, ethnicity plays a central role within norms related to food, clothing, and language, and language create a strong sense of identity. A strong sense of identity. Now, let's add few Marxist perspective. So Marxist emphasize, or Marxist emphasize social class. Social class as a determinant of identity, as determinant of identity, influencing life opportunities, and societal roles. So one addition thing that we can write, the postmodernists suggest that factors like consumption and lifestyle, choices increasingly override traditional age-based identities. Now, what we did so far, we add supportive and opposing arguments. Now we will close our question by providing a proper conclusion. So now what we will talk about in the conclusion, we'll talk about yes, age is a crucial factor, but to many extent gender roles and social class are also very important. Okay, so while age is critical component of social identity, other factors such as, no, you will write those points that we already have discussed from the feminist in the opposing argument, from the feminist perspective, from the functionalist perspective. Okay, so such as gender, ethnicity, and social class, often intersect with age, creating a more complex picture of identity. So you might say this age alone cannot be considered 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 the most important factor. The most important factor. So this is how you have to answer this 15 marks question. In fact, it's a kind of an essay. So first what we did, we provide supportive arguments. So what sort of paragraph you can write in your paragraphs. I already have explained in the previous video in the section A question of that 15 marks. So I will still add on the top of your screen. You can check and the previous question in the section A of the similar 15 marks to understand that what kind of paragraph and what kind of heading that you have to follow while writing the paragraph. So for now, what we did, we provide supportive argument, then opposing argument, and then based on both of these, we write a conclusion that this is how, other than age, few more factors are very important to shaping the personal social identity.